Welcome back. It is the Flow Friday Sports Show on Flow FM, and it's time to check in with Trudi Cook, the 300-game legend from the Southern Mallee Giants Netball Club. Great to be with you, Trudi. How are you?
Yeah, going well. Staying nice and warm indoors at this point.
Yes, well, unfortunately for a fair few of our netballers, I think they might be combating the cold and brutally chilly weathers that are coming our way tomorrow for the next round of Wimmera Netball. But Trudi, let's cast our minds back to last weekend in the A grade. It was always going to be a tough task against the Horsham Demons, but I don't feel as though score-wise that the girls disgraced themselves in any way. It was certainly a battle, but in the end, as we know, Horsham Demons top of the league, so it was always going to be hard. 21-55, the final score. What'd you make of it?
Yeah, no, look, it was definitely a tough game. We didn't have the best start to the day. We had, I mentioned last week, two fill-ins, Phoebe Ubergang and Mackenzie Ballinger, and the morning of, they both had to pull out. So left us a bit short-handed, but that's right. We pulled up from the B grade. Jamie O'Reilly came up from the B grade, and look, she put in a top effort. She ended up winning an award for the day, so definitely didn't look out of place there. But as you said, it was a really tough game. Look, we maintained our drive through the centre and we kept the pressure on. But, yeah, look, Demons were just far too strong on the day. And, yeah, the score was pretty impressive, really, in terms of just keeping them to a minimum and trying to capitalise on what we could get.
Tell us about how some of the other grades got on there, Trudi.
Yeah, look, it wasn't a great day out for the Giants, to be quite honest. Yeah, all grades went down. But the impressive part was the 15s and 13s, our junior girls, they did get mercy ruled, but it wasn't until the fourth quarter. So we can see that improvement in the competition with the girls, where they were getting mercied in the first and sometimes the second. They're now being able to hold their own right until that fourth quarter. So hats off to those junior girls. They're putting up a good fight each week.
No doubt they are. What were some of the other results that caught your attention from the weekend? We had the likes of Ararat and Dimboola going at it and some other interesting games as well. So how'd you see round 9 as a whole there, Trudi?
Yeah, look, Ararat and Dimboola was the match of the week, I thought. I knew it was going to be a good hit out. Last week I mentioned about using nil as the measuring stick there, and it definitely paid off. Dimboola won by 9 goals. But yeah, definitely a tight game there, but Dimboola are just proving stronger and stronger again, which I did say, I reckon, earlier in the year that I reckon Ararat started probably, they peaked early, I reckon. So I'm not surprised that Dimboola won, but it was definitely the game of the round. Neil went down by a fair bit to the Horsham Saints, which would be expected. The Saints are very strong and sitting comfortable on top. And Minyat Matoa and Warwick had a really close game. Minyat Matoa only won by 2 goals. So Warwick, although they're sitting there with no wins on the board, they're definitely pushing each opposition as far as they could. So it was still an interesting round, but yeah, no giant surprises.
Well, Trudi, you are in the inner sanctum, so tell us, what are the goals and objectives of the A-grade side in particular going forward between now and the season's end?
Yeah, look, it's pretty hard. They've got a bit of an upset team at the moment in terms of lots of changes with ins and outs. So I think it'll be about just keeping that consistency and making sure that they set 1 or 2 goals at the start of the game and really focusing on that. And I think their first goal would be to really capitalise when they have that possession of the ball. Olivia Rebel's working quite well in defence, and they're getting some turnovers, but it's just making sure that we can utilise those turnovers throughout the game.
We'll carry on, Trudi. Tell us about Stall this weekend. How's everyone feeling?
Yeah, so look, we've got Stall this weekend. Tough games for absolutely every grade. They're sitting 3rd in the Bs and the under-13, 2nd in the Cs, and 4th in the 15. So we've all got our work cut out for us this week. But look, as far as A grade goes, they've got Jamie O'Reilly staying in the A grade. So that's a good effort to her. As I mentioned, Olivia Rebel's leading the defence quite well, and our mid-court's our strength. So hopefully they can just keep that ball flowing down the court. Having a look at Stall, since we last played them, they've definitely won a fair few more games. So where we stuck with them last time we played them, I hope we can do the same again. We played in very cold and wet conditions at the start of the year, and I'm thinking that wouldn't have changed come Saturday. I think it'll be a bit cold and wet again. So, look, the girls will go out there with a can-do attitude and work towards their goals, which is all they can do.
How do you see Nil in their game against Imbula? Do you think that we might get a close one here?
Yeah, look, that's definitely match of the round. Dimbula bet Nil by 3 goals last time, and Dimmy it clear by 4 points on the ladder. However, it is a home game for Nil, and when we've played in Nil in the past, this might sound a bit silly, but their goal rings are quite bouncy, and some that, hit the rim and then tend to fall in, tend to bounce back at Nil. So they've definitely got their goal rings down pat, and they're coming off a loss. So I reckon they'll go out guns blazing as well, but my pick's Dimbula at this stage.
The Demons, they play Minyip Matoa. You'd assume that given their form, they're going to be too strong.
Yeah, Demons will prove too strong. Minyip Matoa are a good team, but only beating Eagles by 2 just shows that they're probably not quite up there yet with our leading Horsham teams.
The Saints from Horsham, they travel to play Warwick, and, well, you would have thought probably from last week that, if you were looking at this game last week, that it'd be an easy one for the Horsham Saints, but Warwick Eagles showed some fight last weekend, so you never know.
No, you never know. And look, as I said, Warwick Eagles will keep putting up that fight. The scoreboard won't necessarily reflect the strength that Eagles have, but Saints definitely can get those quick goals that you happen before you even realise that they're there. So, look, Saints will win, but as you said, Eagles won't go down dying.
All right, now for the Giants this weekend, there's a significant event on. Just remind our listeners what that is.
Yeah, so we've got our members' Giants draw happening at the club rooms after the footy. There's some pretty handy prize money to be won there, and they do a bit of light entertainment throughout the night. And I think this year it's mini golf. So there'll be a bit of indoor mini golf getting played to entertain a few while the members' draw is happening as well. So they're always good family functions to get along to. And yeah, as I said, it's handy prize money there to be won. So definitely worth attending.
Which of the Southern Mallee Giants A-grade girls has a bit of a decent drive on her, do you reckon there, Trudi?
I reckon Steph Thompson, our coach, definitely would have. She's got a bit of chilblain on her hand at the moment, so maybe affecting her performance. But I reckon she'd have the best drive out of the lot.
There we have it. Well, Trudi, we'll leave it there. Thanks so much for your time. That is Trudi Cook, the Southern Mallee Giants legend and the Juniors Director. Enjoy keeping across all the games this weekend and stay warm. We'll speak to you next week.
Good on you, Alice. You too.